Now, Steve Clarke, he can't keep making the same mistakes, and he's made them twice now at the 2 Euros we've qualified for. He didn't start the first game with Billy Gilmour in the team. And I'm really concerned when I looked at that yesterday. I'm trying to fathom, and I'm sure that Billy Gilmour will start on Tuesday night. But I wonder what's in his head, because if we're going to learn from what's gone wrong in previous, because he keeps talking about that, well, I'm telling you right now, mistake number one at both of these tournaments has been leaving Billy Gilmour out for the first game. I don't understand why he did it, and I hope he's not planning something similar this time round. I thought even in his short time on the pitch, he really offered something, you know, in terms of getting on the ball. We were giving it away for fun for periods. The Japanese were swarming all over us. And because they're so rapid, they're like wee ninjas, aren't they? We struggle to keep control of the ball in kind of key areas. Just give it to Billy Gilmour. You know fine well, 9 times out of 10, he'll control it, he'll protect it, and he'll pop it off to another teammate. And that's something, that's a quality. If we're going to have any hope or aspirations to do anything at this World Cup, we need to have our best players on the pitch and people that you know can keep the ball in tight situations, keep possession, and keep you ticking over. I felt it was a big miss yesterday, to be honest. I don't know what you thought, Scott.
No, I agree with you on Gilmour, Jack. I don't understand. We spoke about this so many times. I mean, international football, the key in international football is keeping possession.
Yeah.
And Billy Gilmour, I'd probably say Billy Gilmour and Kenny McLean, to be fair, probably the two best we've got at keeping possession of the ball. But Gilmour's probably even on a different level. And I agree, when he came on, he offered us something extra. I think he will start on Tuesday. I totally agree. When we get to America, when you think of the heat and the conditions over there, you're going to need to keep possession when you get it, and Billy Gilmour's the best at it. My big takeaway, Daniel, for the game in general was, and it's been a frustration for a while, I'm hoping Jacko agrees, but I just came away from it thinking, when is Steve Clarke just going to take the handbrake off this team and let them go and play? I mean, we've qualified for a World Cup. We're there. We've done the hard bit. We've qualified for 3 tournaments now since 2020. So, I mean, we've achieved so much, but we left those 2 tournaments feeling utterly frustrated and full of regret about no turning up and no doing the things that we were good at and no really making a mark on the tournament. And I think now's the time that you just need to let these guys, or let a lot of these guys off the leash. And the frustration on Saturday was, and I know, listen, Japan are a good team. They're 18th in the world for a reason. We all accept they're a really good side. I think even the Scotland fans knew that going into the game. And probably if somebody says no, it'll be a draw, I think most fans would have said, aye, fair enough, Japan, good test for us. No, a draw's not that bad a result. But again, we've conceded late on. No, we defended pretty well for most of the game, but then concede late on. So there's that regret again to say, well, where was the attacking intent? No, where was the chances that we could have created? And I just feel as if, and honestly, I don't want to criticise Steve Clarke, because the job he's done in getting us to these tournaments has been incredible, but we know that his natural instinct is safety first. I just thought that came to the fore again on Saturday, when it was a game where it didn't really need that approach, and I really hope that changes. I don't think we made enough forward passes. I look at certain players, probably Lewis Ferguson being a prime example. I feel as if he's so restricted in what he can do or what he's allowed to do in the pitch, in terms of what he's capable of, but every time seems to want to come back the way. First instinct's always to play a backwards pass. Look at Tommy Conway, a young player who's come in at the weekend, having spoke during the week about how he switched positions for Middlesbrough and how he's loving it, coming in off the left-hand side, being that kind of wide attacker and being a real goal threat for Middlesbrough under a new manager, Hellberg. So when I seen him in the starting lineup, I think, right, here we go, this is going to be something a bit different. Obviously, we've no Gannon Doak, so Conway will provide that. He didn't get a chance, because every time he picked up the ball, he was so deep that he couldn't really make an impact. So he's having to go back the way or inside. And the reason he's so deep is, I think, his first instinct, even in that position, isn't to go and test his fullback. is to make sure he doesn't get caught going the other way in Japan, getting attacked. So I just left the stadium feeling frustrated. I know it was only a friendly, and no, you're not going to get too het up about it, but I worry about us going to this tournament because I feel as if the handbrake has to come off. I think Scotland fans now at this stage would rather lose a game 4-2 than 2-0. Do you know what I mean? No, their teams went and had a go, and I think we almost owe it to these players to say, look, go and express yourself, go and enjoy it, go and play and do what you're good at. If we lose a goal, fine, but let's try and score a couple of goals. So that was my feeling coming away from it.